All right, all right. Hello, hello, my friends. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are tuning in from. What's up to my LinkedIn family? What's going on? My Facebook family, my Twitter crew. Happy Tuesday, y'all. It is July 26th, and you are tuning in for a shot of vitamin K. I am so excited to be chatting with y'all today because listen, y'all, you know I like to get into the good stuff. Okay. But listen, friends, my house is turned upside down. Can I just tell y'all know I tell you my business every week. And so I have been really focusing on who I want to be in this season of my life. And Mama Dawn is here, y'all. So I don't know if she's going to pop in. She's taking care of business. But if she pops in, I'm going to have her pull up and we're going to talk. But we'll see. You know, I didn't even tell her yet. She might be hearing me, but maybe she doesn't. But I have been really going through, I think, what some folks might think, you know, or experience as, or have experienced as a transformation. And you're like, Kish, what are you talking about? What kind of transformation? I mean, for me, it has really been about like, who am I in this stage of life? And I am going to be talking about it in a limited run series that I'm doing for my podcast, Let's Take This Offline. It is powered by Bloomerang, one of the sponsors for the Rooted Collaborative's annual convening, the Rooted Retreat. And that's going to launch next week, y'all. So in addition to kicking it with me on a shot of vitamin K, you'll be able to hear me go into more in depth on what it looks like to step away from the life that you know, what has been designed for you, and really leverage and kind of dig into your values to activate your purpose, to push on your purpose. So I'm going to be talking about that, but not today. Today, we have a completely different topic, which I'm so excited about because I want to make sure that as we do these shots of vitamin K, that they're responsive to what we are really experiencing in real time right now at work. And I think that oftentimes we don't get a chance to do that. We really try to focus on whatever we think the like block and tackle is. But today I'm going to talk about 3 things great managers do in the summer to close the year strong. So 3 things that great managers do in the summer to start the year strong. So when I was a kid, I spent a lot of my summers in my early years going to Jamaica with my grandmother. And it was an annual thing, right? So the school year in New York City ends in June, and my mama would pack us right on up to send us with my grandmother to Jamaica, to family for the summer. And we come back like the week or so before school started again. And that was our summer to be, you know, carefree. That was our summer to run in the dirt, the red dirt, and to go down to the beach, do all the things that kids do out in the country, because my family had a country home in Jamaica, or house in the country. And so we got to spend our summers as kids just kind of like doing our own thing. And I remember like wondering, but not asking until I was an adult, like, what does my mama do when we are not here? Mom? Oh, she must have stepped away. I was like, if she was here, I was going to ask her again so she could tell y'all herself in first person. So what does my mom do? What did she do when I was a kid? And she really told me that basically, in addition to getting some rest, okay, because when you got 2 kids who are 2 years apart underfoot, evidently there's a lot going on. But also it was to prepare herself for the fall. Big time in her work, big time with families, multiple events, birthdays, holidays, you name it. A lot of stuff going on at the church. There was so many things going on that she used that time for herself to really kind of recalibrate so she could finish the year strong. How many of us do that? Like, do we actually take the time to recalibrate before we go into that next sprint that we have to do, or that next leg that we have to do? So it got me thinking about, of course, my work and managers. So I am gearing up to teach my so beloved, I love it, people love it, Kish Camp, which starts next week, Wednesday. I'm doing 4 sessions, one every week, for stressed out managers who are like, look, I'm tired. I love my people, but listen, I can't hit my goals and talk to you about the problems you having at the house and motivate you to do this and that. Like, I just need some support. What are the things I need to be focusing on as a manager? Yes. Hey, Jerice, welcome to the live. I love it when my folks who are like my respected colleagues, coaches, friends, and evidently the dog Chanel, who is now going to be nosy and leave the office. Let me see if I can get her to come back. Who joined me in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching Kish Camp, 4 sessions, 4 weeks, starting next Wednesday, 2 in August, so August 4th and 10th. 3rd and 10th, sorry, y'all. And then 2 in September 7th and 14th. So the reason I'm doing Kish Camp is because the thing that I get, thanks, Mom. I was just shouting you out, Mom. The thing that I get the most questions about are how folks navigate different aspects of being a good manager. So there are a lot of conversations that are happening on Twitter, and they're happening on TikTok. And I'm a part of that conversation on leadership and what it means to be a good leader. But the reality is that we don't focus enough on what it means to be a good manager. And 70% of your team's success, I don't care if you have a team of 1, a team of 141, a team of 1,141, your team's success, 70%, y'all, that's almost 3/4, falls on you and your ability to inspire, activate, motivate, and get your teams to and through their goals. You got human problems on your hands. So Kish Camp is going to help those of us who are like, the hell, I quit. Let me go. To really understand what are the 4 things that you need to be able to have kind of in your management toolkit, right there on the belt, in order to be a better manager. All right. But today I want to talk about the 3 things I think are important for us to be working on as managers right now, so that we can go into a strong fall, strong Q3, Q4 for most of us. Some of us is Q1, Q2, depending on if you're working for a nonprofit organization or if you're in a for-profit tech startup, etc. All right. Number 1, I need you, if it's not on your calendar, to get off this live after I'm done in a few minutes, and I need you to schedule your stay interviews with your team. If a large percentage of your team's success really rests with you, I'm talking about engagement, I'm talking about activation, I'm talking about understanding and owning their goals, understanding and owning their work streams, not just checking off tasks, y'all. And y'all, this information is not out the textbook. I mean, I am very learned. I told y'all that, I'm a nerd, but it is hard won. Okay. So doing a stay interview is something that is so simple and easy. It's sort of like a knock your head duh moment, but many of us don't do it. We panic when we think that our high performers, and frankly, not even our high performers, y'all, like our mid performers that could be slack, but they kind of good and we stressed out. So they have good days. So we keep them anyway, because we don't want to look for nobody else, them too. And so we need to have courageous conversations around staying, so that we can understand what is motivating our team members in that moment. Hey, Sean, in that moment to stay. So again, I don't care if you got your 1 admin, or if you have a team of 5, or if you have folks who are independent contractors that you have to wrangle. Like, it doesn't matter how the people show up on your team, but having a stay conversation, a stay meeting. What do you love about your work? What is motivating you to stay in it? What would make you go to hell now? And y'all know I don't give y'all the fancy questions. I give y'all the real talk. I need y'all to put it in your own words. But what would make you say, hell no, walk out tomorrow? Are there places and spaces in our work that you feel overwhelmed? Are there activities that you would rather be doing that would help get us to goal? Like, this is an opportunity to have a conversation about how things are going, and then what would need to be true for people to stay. And so I had a recent conversation with one of my team members who was actually offboarding at the end of this month, because she is having some things happening in her life that are really eclipsing her ability to have her attention on things that she needs to have. And so we've had state conversations in the past. And so I've been able to keep her on as a team member an extra year, I think, beyond when she might have gone on to do other things, because she was committed to the work and she was committed to me and she felt very clear on her outcomes. Well, now my company is starting to transition. I've retracted, so I have less staff than I had 2 years ago. But I'm taking on bigger projects. So I'm about to staff up again, but in a different kind of way. And so I use that as an opportunity to have a conversation about where we are as a company, where we are as a team, and then where we're going. And then this created some space to be like, is it time for you to still stay, or is it time for you to go? Did I cry? A little bit on the inside. Did I panic? Yup, a little bit on the inside. Because how many of us really want change? We don't. But this stay conversation and the fact that I have been having them at regular intervals with my team members a couple times a year, and when we're in a high stress project, I might throw another one in there for good measure, really allowed me to keep a pulse on what would it mean to say yes? What does it take to say yes for my team members? So I think that's really important. So that's number one. Make sure you're having stay conversations with your team members. Get them booked. And honey, don't have them before they go on PTO. Have them when they come back from the vacation and they're not stressed. Don't send them any work, okay? But have a conversation when folks are coming back from a long weekend, arrested, etc. They've had a shift in their mind, because they are probably going to be most honest with you at that time. Number two, this is a good time for you to really pull up and do a step back. Just step back a little bit from the work and look at your goals. And I don't mean look at your goals like, are we going to hit these numbers? I mean, look at your goals like, do these goals even make sense for what we have going on right now? Like, do they? And the reason I want y'all to ask that question, and this is an opportunity to set you up for success, is because many times we put our goals in the beginning of the year, right? And so doing a goal like audit, if you will, of, are these actually the right goals to get us to this larger goal, to this big outcome? Have I actually resourced myself and my team to be able to get this stuff done? Like, for real, for real. If the answer is yes, is my team accessing or leveraging the resources that I've provided? If the answer is no, pull up, pause, hit the pause button on this play. Why not? Let's dig in. Your team members, if you have built relationships with your team members, because y'all know at the end of the day, I probably should change leadership coach to relationship coach, because I am all about relationships at work, at home, and with yourself. And so at the end of the day, if your team members are not bought in to the goals that need to be achieved and where they see themselves in those goals, then the reality is you're gonna be pulling them to the end, right across the finish line. We don't want that. That creates a stressed out manager. That creates you being sharp and short. That creates you burning the people to get to the outcome. And that does not keep your team with you. So I want y'all to really be thinking about that. This is a good time to do a goal audit, to really dig in and go like, and not just for the work, because it's real easy, y'all, to focus on the business. I need y'all to also do a check in on this good here heart. Are you still in the work? Do you still love it? Do you even like it? Is it just paying your bills? Paying your telephone bills, paying my automobiles? I mean, I'm just saying. And to really be clear about how the goals that you have set for yourself actually align with your capacity to be able to achieve those goals. And so I'm going to kind of split my conversation real quick. So if you're an entrepreneur, you run your own company, you have a solo practice, it's you and one other person, your product-based business, your service business, but you are growing in your practice. You ain't hit the Fortune 1000 just yet. Then I want you to take this assessment, this audit period, as a time to really go, is the way in which I am activating on this work really serving me and really serving my clients? And from personal experience, y'all, the answer for me in quite a bit of my business was no. So for example, I was a fundraising coach from 2015 to 2019 actively. I coach folks on fundraising, how to be better fundraiser, how to raise more money. I could teach anybody how to raise money. Like, raising money is not a thing. Evidently, I'm a really good teacher at it now. Sometimes when I have to go do it myself, I really don't want to be bothered, y'all. But I'm awesome at teaching it. But the reality is I didn't love it. So now when I do it, I have to really like the people I want to do it with, but I didn't love it. So I had to take I had to do an assessment, and I had to do an audit of my goals. Number one, that particular service didn't get me to my goal. And number two, it wasn't feeding my spirit. And when you're running a small business and you have a solo or a 2-person practice, you have to really be doing things that if you're going to be up late at night or you have to work longer hours, that you really love it. And so doing that goal assessment has been hard. I'm doing it now. And what it means is that there are projects that I'm working on that I'm closing. They're not done. They're more than halfway done. So that means I have put in time, y'all. I have contracted people to put in time. I have spent money, and they're just going to have to be sunk costs. Because the reality is when I do a goal audit, the time that my team is spending on this work and the time that I'm spending on this work is not getting me to the goal anyway. And what the experience that folks are having is that we end up just spinning our wheels. People frustrated, angry over it. So this is the second thing that managers can do. Okay, now if you're working in a corporate entity, a large corporate entity, okay, y'all. So I'm talking about y'all big dogs that have work streams upon work streams upon divisions. Then this is a good time to do once you've done your state conversations, because that really is that heart check-in, that mind check-in. What are the things connecting? Doing a goal audit allows you to really be able to dig in and see, like, do we actually have the right metrics? Are we looking at the right things for the larger goal or outcome that we're trying to achieve? Did we miss something, or are we overreaching on a thing? So it really gives you an opportunity to kind of take a magnifying glass to the why you did this thing at your mid-year point or so that you can pivot, or you can adjust, you can realign, etc., on your way into a strong fall. So number one, stay conversation, really critical with your team members, doing it multiple times a year, but doing it right now in the summer, perfect time. Doing a goal audit. Why are we doing this thing again? Very critical, so that you have your finger on the pulse of how work is going to get done and to what end, so that you are not the kind of manager that burns the people to get to the outcome. And the third thing that I want you to do right now as a manager to set yourself up for success is I want to make sure that you have a personal development plan for yourself. Notice I didn't say professional development, because personal development is professional development. How have you been able to be in the learner's seat as a manager to date? What books are you reading? Let me give y'all my current list of things. Hold on, y'all, because y'all know I read like 5 books at a time. Okay, y'all. I listen to books every single morning and I read. This is ridiculous. Okay, so this is going on my list for the month. The Secrets to Happiness at Work. Really excited to dig into that book. I have been doing the Cliff Notes version of this book, but now I'm going to be digging into the Enneagram at Work, because I just did a really dope session with my friends at We Are For Good. That's going to go live soon, and so I had to dig into that, but it made me even more curious. I'm really looking at more cultures of belonging, because as organizations reach out to me and my team, folks are real fractured, y'all. And then I took The Only Path to See You. Like, I just love books that really have a personal professional blend. I had a client yesterday tell me I need to get on it and get my book out into the world and stop playing. But I actually put myself in the student seat, even though I teach management and leadership and I coach and I train people literally 5 days a week. Okay? Monday through Friday. And yet I have to get a development plan that works for me. And so I have some other books that are more the spiritual end. I'm actually taking a moment to update my vision board and really go like, does this really serving me? So the third thing you as a manager can do is make sure that you are focusing on your plan for yourself so that you stay in it. Do you have a mind, body, spirit plan for yourself? Have you fallen off the wagon with it and it's time to get back on? Like, this is your opportunity to really be able to catch your breath and to be able to rev. And for some of y'all, skirt, it's going to be to change direction. That's just what it is. Okay, so I've broken down and y'all, just to be clear, there are probably 1,245 different things one could do to be successful. And if y'all have some other ideas that you want to drop in the chat, drop it in the chat. And maybe I will do a short live or a reel and address it. So there are other things you're like, Kish, I really think that we should also do this, that managers really do that. Like, I do better when I do this thing. I'd love to hear from y'all. I love when y'all comment. When you watch the replay, just put replay in your comments so I know you see it after. But these for me are the 3 because they don't feel so far out of reach that it feels like more work to do, because at least the first 2, state conversations and goal audits, are in the natural, should be in the natural flow of your work as a manager. But the 3rd, that's a challenging one, focusing on yourself and really making sure you have a plan for yourself so that your heart, hello, y'all. I said your heart. So your heart, your head, your spirit, all of things are connected. And for some of us, that's going to mean that we are on track where we need to activate. For some of us, we got to throttle down. And for some of us, we're going to pivot. And I am here for you as your coach and thought partner in that work if you want to be able to do that, y'all. Because that is super, super, super important to me. And so if you are like, Kishshana, this sounds great, but I really need to plug in one-on-one, then I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to book some time with me during my VIP days. And my clients have done everything from like rebuild out their teams, to work on their board and their board strategy, to work on their exit plans that they're going to enact next year, but they need to do it now. To work on their own performance when they're like, listen, I'm on the struggle BUS. To work on a new organization idea. Yeah, I just want you to know I'm going to discourage you from it, just so you know, because there are 1.5 million nonprofit organizations in the US and they fail within 5 years. Okay. But whatever it is that you want to be able to do, that you want to do in a structured way, my intensives, my coaching intensives are the way to be able to do that. And I do ongoing coaching as well. But if you're like, Kishshana, I love that, but I want to be able to do that with a larger group of people. Like I like more of the larger coaching environment. So then I want you to think about coming to the Rooted Retreat, which is happening September 29th through October 2nd in Jamaica. We are going to be staying at Seegers Wild Orchid. It is for women leaders in the sector. If you serve the social sector, if you're a part of the social sector, if you are building a business and you have a social good component, if you're like, hell, I'm not in any of that, but I'm gonna come anyway because, Kishshana, I need an opportunity to reset myself professionally and personally in a corporate body, in a community of folks led by facilitators who want one thing for you to live your best life, because I believe that you should have the life you love, the career you love, and be healthy AF. And so we're going to be focusing on that at the Rooted Retreat. And so if you are excited about the opportunity to join us in Jamaica to do that, please go ahead and grab your spot at therootedretreat.com. I'm going to be closing registration at the end of August, y'all, because we got to get final numbers to the hotel. And our max is 100 people. But we are moving. The group is growing. And so I really want to make sure that we have an awesome, awesome, awesome experience. If you haven't experienced the Rooted Retreat Uprooted in 2020 or Evergreen in 2021, go on ahead and look and see about us, okay? Because it's great. But this is the way that you'll be able to do this work. And if you are a manager who needs more support, please make sure you reach out to me. Kish Camp is starting next week. And we have 4 sessions that you'll be able to pick from. So August 3rd, August 10th, September 7th, and September 14th. And if you want more with that, make sure that you connect with me on social so that you're able to plug into what we've got going on. All right, y'all, we are right at our 30-minute mark. I'm so excited. Remember, 3 things that you can do as a manager so that you have a strong fall going and a strong close of the year. Doing stay conversations with your team members, whether it's your contractors, your vendors, your W-2s, your mama, you name it, so that you can understand what is motivating people to get to and through the end of the year this time powerfully, that you do a goal audit. Why the hell are we doing all this stuff anyhow? And are these goals, do they even make sense? And when I created these goals, what was I thinking? This is your opportunity to recalibrate so that you are able to move forward powerfully in the new year. And the third thing is making sure that you create a personal development plan for yourself. And all I mean by that, keep it simple, is what do you put in your body? What do you put in your mouth? What you putting in your mind? What you putting in your heart? So that you have the energy to be able to manage well, to be able to lead well, lead with confidence, because 70% of your team's success depends on you, the manager. Tall order, y'all. But I'm here to help you do that well. And so, hey, I see more people jumping in the chat. So I'm going to close out now, y'all. If you want to know how I broke down those 3, your stay conversation, your goal audit, and your personal development plan, go on ahead and knock through the live. The live is short today, and I will see you next week for another shot of vitamin K. For those of y'all who are my friends on LinkedIn, I am trying the LinkedIn Voice event on Friday. And so I'm going to be on the Voice event live Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we're going to be talking about the difference between a break and a powerful pause. All right, y'all. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am so excited that I get to do this with y'all every single week. And I will see you real soon.
Working from home is cool, but it can get lonely. Even if you're in the office a few times a week, your calendar's probably still full of Zoom meetings, conference call, and other endless screen things. What if I told you there's a premier experience that allows you to reconnect while you disconnect? Join us in sunny Jamaica for the 2022 Rooted Retreat for an all-inclusive experience where professional development and high-end luxury come together in perfect harmony. Stress doesn't deserve your best, you do. Treat yourself to the best at this year's Rooted Retreat, presented by the Rooted Collaborative.